Hi guys, my name is Trinity, and if you're here, you must be here to talk about books because that's why I'm here, to talk about books. So today I am doing a Twitter trend, and that is the 12 by 12 and 12. If you guys have been around for a little while, you know that I can read 12 books in 1 month, and so starting this trend in March is not too bad for me. I do have quite a few reading challenges in the future, and I do have some things coming up that I am planning on reading aside from Pop Sugar and this 12 by 12, and so I am putting a lot on myself, but I can read 12 books in a month, so I don't really feel like this one is stretching that too far. And I'll put up a Pop Sugar video here very soon. So this basically is 12 books by 12 people in 12 months. So 12 different people are choosing 12 books for me to read within the next year. What I did first was I went to my Discord and asked them, hey guys, I want to do the 12 by 12 and 12, so give me some book recommendations, but here are your guidelines. If you guys don't know, I have very, very specific tastes in books, and so there's a lot of things that I just don't like. There's a lot of things that I will just gravitate towards. And so within those parameters, these were the books that were picked for me, and I will tell you who chose each book for me. I'll also put up the little graphic that shows who picked what, and you guys can see that over to the side. So, of course, the first person to pick a book for me would be my friend Andrew. And I knew if I gave him a chance to pick a book for me to read, he was going to pick one, and he was going to pick something that was outside of my comfort zone. And I am excited to read this because not only him, but my friend Jordan has told me that I will like this book. There's a couple of people who have been like, okay, you might not like Neil Gaiman, but this one you should read. And that would be The Graveyard Book. So I don't know a lot about this other than there is a boy who is raised in a graveyard and educated by ghosts. That's kind of like the tagline for the book, and that's kind of what stuck in my head for the book. But I'm really excited to venture into this because I've heard when Neil Gaiman goes dark, it's really atmospheric, and I love that. I really love gothic novels. So Andrew, while our tastes are completely different, he is really good at picking books for me because they're pretty much books he didn't like, or he knows why I will like a certain book. So I have high hopes for this, especially because Jordan and Andrew have both told me I will love this book. Okay, next is Chron from the Chronicler. Their blog is fantastic, so if you haven't had a chance to look them up, I will leave their blog down below. But Django Wexler, I knew someone was going to pick this for me because it has been on my TBR for forever, and so many people have been trying to get me to read it. And Flintlock Fantasy, y'all. That's what we're going with. The Thousand Names. I have been so excited to read this. I really wanted to venture into Flintlock Fantasy last year, but I didn't get a chance to get around to doing that. And there are a couple that are on my radar. This one is probably at the top of the list. And so, like I said, I have been very, very excited to read it. And I have put it off, and I don't know why. Django Wexler and David Dalglish. Like, I'm going to read, you guys. It's going to happen. And I own your books. I just haven't read them yet. My friend Izzy. Now, it's funny. I talk about my taste in books all the time. And my friend Izzy, she just cannot grasp my taste in books. She tries. She tries really, really hard. And she even has put it in her own mind that she is going to put things to the Andrew and Trinity test to see where her tastes fall, because I'm a plot-driven reader, Andrew's a character-driven reader, and she doesn't know what she likes. Well, she knows what she likes, but she doesn't know where she lands on that scale, and she feels like she falls somewhere in the middle, but she wants to get a better idea of what is actually, what that looks like, what character-driven looks like, and what plot-driven looks like. And so she picked In the Orbit of Sirens by T.A. Bruno. I know she loves this book. I know she loves it. And the funny thing is, I have a feeling I'm really going to like it too, because from what I've heard from her talking about it, like I said, she absolutely loves this book. This is self-pub, and I own the second book. I won it on Twitter, so I really want to get into the series and read In the Orbit of Sirens and On the Winds of Quasars. I think that it's going to be really good sci-fi. I think I'm really going to enjoy it. And a lot of the people on our Discord over at the SFF Oasis, we really like self-pub. We really like to try and promote self-pub. So it's not going to be surprising if we come across quite a few self-pub on this list, because my Twitter family likes it, my Discord family likes it, so it's gonna happen. Synopsis of In the Orbit of Sirens, or the tagline at least, is: the last fragments of the human race are forced to adapt to a dangerous new world or face extinction. I really like those kinds of sci-fi. I know that they're not for everyone, but I do like the whole race to find the fix in sci-fi. And I'm trying to think of other stories that do this. I'm sure that plenty of you will come into my comments and tell me which ones I'm not thinking of. But like, I really like this. And I've also picked up a John Scalzi book that is very similar in synopsis to this. And so they're ones that really intrigue me. But yeah, again, very excited. Thank you, Izzy. All right, story time. So when I was on Discord one day, we had this epic moment where our admin, Ben, decided to invite Felicia Day to the Discord. Now, me and a couple of other people kind of lost our minds. We were like, what are you doing? Because we can't handle Felicia Day being in our Discord. No, we would freak out. We would panic, have a heart attack. You know, she is the queen of the nerds. Do you not know this? Queen of the nerds. And we got to talking, and Nina, one of the other moderators on the Discord, was like, dude, have you read any of her books? And I was like, huh, bad fan, didn't know she had books. So when this came about, Nina definitely took the opportunity to recommend You're Never Weird on the Internet by Felicia Day. And she told me the audiobooks of her books are fantastic. And so I'm looking forward to this a lot. I don't read nonfiction, and I'm only reading nonfiction because it's Felicia Day, my queen, the queen of the nerds. All right, and one of my longtime friends, Kate, she joined our bookish Discord, and I was so very happy. And she recommended to me Crucible of Stars by Erica Lindquist. And I had never heard of this book, but she knows my taste pretty well. And so when she recommended me this, I was like, oh, all right, I'm going to go look into it. Let's see what it is. Maeve Kaviana is running and her wings won't save her. The infamous bounty hunter Logan Coldhand chases close behind her and intends to drag Maeve back to the planet Axis to collect the high price on her head. When he finally corners her, the long chase seems to be over until a frightened alien girl stumbles into their fight and begs for their protection. Maeve and Logan call a reluctant end to their battle and promise to help the girl, but they have agreed to far more than they know. Can the fragile peace between Hunter and Mark hold long enough to save the lives that depend on them? I am wondering, did she recommend this to me because it's enemies to lovers? It does not say on Goodreads whether or not this is a romance, but it does say space opera. and it does say science fiction fantasy, which we all know I love me a sci-fi fantasy blend. But yes, I am excited. I am excited to see, what we are getting ourselves into here. Now, here's going to be my problem with this one. I think it's ebook. I think it might be ebook. If that's the case, I will try to see if I can find an audiobook or if I can somehow get a physical copy of the book, but I do want to read it. It does sound like it's going to be really up my alley. And like I said, me and Kate have been friends for a long time, and so I trust her taste, or I trust that she knows my taste well enough to recommend me a book. So I'm very excited about this. Okay, the next one is from Rory, and it was funny because I was on the Discord asking for recommendations for this video, for this challenge, and Rory pops on and starts talking about this book, and I'm like, is this a recommendation for me? Because if it is, yes, I'll do it. And she's like, well, no, but yeah. They're like, I just wanted to come here and shout about the book, but if you want to read it, do it, because it's fantastic. And that would be Night Chosen, The Shackled Verities by Tammy Sawyer. In a cosmos-wide war between merciless celestials, humans are as expendable as pawns until the night corporealist warriors among the people of the five realms seize the celestials' weapons and fight back. Yes. Epic fantasy with magic, monsters, and cosmos. I am very excited to read this. Again, this one might be another ebook thing. I have to look into it. I haven't looked into it yet, but it sounds so much up my alley. And when you start talking gods and monsters, angels and demons, you know, stuff like that, I'm down. And so Rory was just like, go for it. Like this is, yes, I'm recommending it to you. That's not why I came here, but yes, I'm recommending it to you. So we went with that. And my friend on the Discord with whom we cannot agree. No. Nora has a very different taste than I do, more closely related to Andrew's taste in books. So there are books that we agree on. And she was trying to pull a dirty on me because I gave my little synopsis thing for what I will read, or my little description of what I will read, and tried to give me Malazan, Marzipan, whatever you want to call that series. No. You guys know I have no interest in Malazan, and so she knew that too, and she was like, no, it fits your criteria. You need to read it. And I'm like, So she actually gave me the recommendation for The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. As you guys know, I did start this in July of last year, but then had to set it aside as I was participating in a readathon, and it was moving a little too slowly for me. I was interested in it though, so I never really DNF'd it or got rid of it. I guess I DNF'd it, but I never really got rid of it. Just kind of put it on pause until I can get back to it. So I will be reading City of Brass, giving it a second go, even though, like I said, it was for a readathon, so the only reason it got set aside is because it moved a little slow. My friend Sunyi, she has a new book out. I will leave the link to her book down below. Rory, I think she has a book out as well, but I would have to actually look into it and see if it's actually published yet or not, or available. But Sunyi, we have very different reading tastes as well. However, she recommended Ten Low by Stark Holborn, and she likes much of the classic sci-fi and things like that, and really existential type stuff, and I don't. But whenever we were talking about Ten Low, I was like, oh no, that does sound good. That really does sound good. So I was very excited after I put it on my list and got looking into it and everything like that. So even though this is coming from someone who really doesn't have my same reading taste in books, I'm kind of excited. I really want to get into this and see what it's all about. And I want to see, does it have a little bit of that existentialism in it, but not enough to put me off? Like, I want to see if that is why she recommended this one to me. I'm very, very pumped for it. All right, next would be a recommendation from another longtime friend of mine, and that would be a Fantasy Book Nerd. He is great, and he is such a great friend on Twitter, and we've followed each other for quite a while, been a few years, and we've always got along. And well, he joined our Discord. We were supposed to be moderators together, but that didn't work out. However, they have great taste in books. He has absolutely amazing taste in books. We really agree on a lot of stuff, and so he said that this book was on his TBR and he wants me to read it too. However, Goodreads does not have a description. There's no synopsis. But I'll show you the book. And it's King's Assassin by DJ Bowman Smith. And he recommended it to me because it has assassin in the title. No, but he had heard the book was really good, and from other people, and what he heard, he was like, oh, Trinity's gonna like this too. So he recommended this to me. It's another that I'm afraid is gonna be only in ebook, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. And I don't know, just look at the cover. Look at the cover. The cover speaks to me. All right, and another name that you guys have seen quite a few times on this YouTube channel, The Lost War, was recommended to me by my friend Terry. If you guys get on the Discord and start looking for Terry, it's Eye of Odin. Okay, this is by Justin Lee Anderson, and this has been on my TBR for quite some time. Again, I believe self-pub. Let me check. Yes, self-pub. And I have been very interested in this one. The cover is stunning. Love this cover. I know a lot of people don't like people on their cover, but when the people look like this, I get excited. The war is over, but something is rotten in the state of Eoden. With a ragged peace in place, demons burn farmlands, violent reavers roam the wilds, and plague has spread beyond the Black Meadows. The country is on its knees. In a society that fears and shuns him, Aranok is the first magically skilled Draoid, I have no idea how to say that, to be named King's envoy. Now charged with restoring an exiled foreign queen to her throne, he leads a group of strangers across a ravaged country, but at every step a new mystery complicates their mission. So this has been, like I said, on my TBR for quite some time. A lot of people that I have similar taste to have read it and loved it, so I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. Oh, one of my followers on Twitter, she is such a sweetheart. Her name is Lena, and she is so great, so supportive, watches my videos, follows my Twitter, just so nice. She recommended Blackstone Heart by Michael R. Fletcher. I'm pumped. I am pumped about this one. I actually got a chance to talk to Michael R. Fletcher and asked him, I was like, okay, hey, I want to start reading your books. I just don't know where to start. And is Beyond Redemption where I should start, or should I start with something else? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Like, Blackstone Heart probably would be where I would start. And I was like, okay, done deal. And then Elena recommended it to me, and I was like, yes. I want to read it anyway. Yes. But I have been pumped to read this book for quite some time, and Michael R. Fletcher for quite some time. Ah, the book that traveled the Twitterverse in self-pub. At least my friends anyway, they were all on board with this book. My friend David, he recommended this to me. He is actually one of the bloggers over at FanFiAddict, and I was not surprised. I was not surprised. This book was the winner of the SPF BO, and so like no surprise whatsoever with this recommendation. And that would be The Thief Who Pulled on Trouble's Braids. The cover of this book, I love it. I don't know why. I think it's because the title is so big and the background just kind of fades behind it. I don't know why. I just really like this cover. But thieves, assassins, you guys know I am a sucker for thieves and assassins. And I know that there is kind of a mystery at the heart of this book, so I'm very intrigued about that, because there's a lot of fantasy that does have some mystery element to it, but when there's like a mystery at the heart of the story in a fantasy novel, I'm pretty intrigued. I'm pretty intrigued. And the fact that it won SPF BO, I'm very intrigued by that as well. So that is my 12 by 12 in 12, which probably will not take me 12 months. It will probably take me 6, maybe 3, just depending on how quickly I can get my hands on some of these books. But that's it for me today. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!